Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm here to announce that I'm not going to be making videos anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really like making videos, so I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry if you subscribe to me because you like videos, but there's not going to be any of that anymore, so I'm sorry. So, I suppose, since you're already here, I could tell you a story. The year was 1987. Bill Cheadler was just a man like any other working at the Dirtsburg, Mississippi Frito-Lay factory. He was held in quite high acclaim at the branch after he had invented the Cheeto, an idea he came up with after he went on a magical gnome-induced time travel pirate journey where he met Donkey Kong and fought Cthulhu Kilgore Prime EX. Over the past 6 months since its release on the market, the Cheeto had quickly become Frito-Lay's highest-selling product in a matter of days. The Frito-Lay company was seeing an unprecedented amount of revenue coming their way, all thanks to Bill, and Bill knew it. He had been promoted to branch manager, and every day he worked hard dreaming up new ideas for products, such as sour cream and onion potato chips and ketchup-flavored Fritos. However, this was a day just like all others. Bill put on his nicest Cheeto orange suit and made his way down to work, taking his usual jogging route. He waved to the locals as he passed by. To Jenkins, who runs the laundromat, to Mrs. Witherby, who worked at the florists, and to Sergeant Borf, the Flibsdale, Missouri police dog who always sat on the same pavement corner surveying the town. Eventually, he made his way to the factory and stepped inside. The cold, familiar air of machines and cheese powder filled Bill Cheadler's nostrils. He breathed in, and then let out a pleased sigh before stepping out onto the viewing platform. You could see everything standing up there, some 30 feet above the factory floor. Corn mulch churning, cheese dust pouring, pistons pushing, workers working, all under his wise gaze and guidance. A perfectly oiled machine of perfectly oiled machines. Then Bill heard frantic footsteps approaching him from behind. It was Michael Frisby, his most trusted advisor. Bill was always happy to see Michael and prepared to greet him warmly. However, Bill noticed the distraught expression plastered on Michael's face, like the cheese dust coating that plastered Bill Cheadler's delicious Cheeto corn snacks. "It's an emergency, Bill!" Michael gasped, coming to a stop in front of Bill. "Cheeto sales are plummeting rapidly! We never seen numbers this low!" Bill's heart stuttered for a moment. Cheetos underselling? How could this be? Everyone loved Cheetos. They're the most delicious thing to ever be legally considered industrial waste. "What? Do we know why?" Bill stuttered. "A new snack has taken over the market! Planters Peanuts, sir!" Michael said, quickly handing Bill an extensive financial report. Bill skimmed the report anxiously. It detailed the rapidly increasing sales of Planters Peanuts and the plummeting sales of Cheetos. Why had the sales of Planters Peanuts so suddenly shot up? The introduction of their new mascot, Mr. Peanut. Bill handed the report back to Michael. "Seems that consumers enjoy eating food that has personality," Michael Frisby said solemnly. "That will not be shown up by a talking peanut," Bill Cheadler said before storming off to his office. Down the elevator, down the stairs, through the steely gray corridors, around the corner, and deeper yet still, Bill made it to his office, a dark place buried at the bottom of the Kansas City, Missouri Frito-Lay branch. It was where Bill went to ponder his darkest ideas, products that were too powerful to be unleashed onto the world. Cooler Ranch Doritos, Funyuns 2, Moon Chips, and other such arcane powers lay dormant inside the combination-locked mini-fridge in the top left corner of the floor-black walls in Bill's office. Bill threw open the door and sat down at his desk in a huff. He stayed there night after night, racking his brain on what he could possibly do to save the falling Cheeto sales. He sent out drafts for product after product, but none did anything. Flamin' Hot Cheetos didn't do the trick, nor did Cheeto Puffs. Crumpled up papers covered Bill's floor. His hair was matted with sweat. He hadn't seen the sun in weeks, locked up in his bunker far beneath the ground. He hadn't eaten. He hadn't slept. He was going mad. He had to find a way to save Frito-Lay. He had to. After all, he was the hero who invented Cheetos. He was Bill Cheadler. Bill Cheadler! Bill Cheadler! Bill Cheadler! Bill was snapped out of his crazed state by a familiar voice. He'd heard it before when he was in his darkest place. He jolted out of his seat and strained as hard as he could to hear the voice again. Bill's heart fluttered. He hadn't imagined it. He quickly bolted out of his office, his tired body shambling with each step. He had to find that voice. Bill darted around corner after corner, chased that voice through the labyrinth of slate corridors. It had to be through here. Finally, Bill slammed open the final doors, and there it stood. Sitting atop the table in the middle of the empty conference room was a kindly-faced gnome, lit only by the light coming through the windows of the double doors behind Bill and the blue flames of the small lantern the gnome held. This was the same gnome that had sent Bill through time with its gnome magic. The same gnome that had given him the experience that led to the creation of his magnum opus, the Cheeto.
Who? Hello, Bill!
The gnome smiled. Bill fell to his knees and broke into tears as he cried out, "Gnome, oh you powerful fey beast, I beg of you to lend me your powers. You guided me in my darkest hour all those many nights ago. Bless me again with your great, terrible power, you who control the sands of time like a coachman does his horses. Show me what I must see to overcome this roadblock ahead of me. Please, gnome, I beg of you." The gnome chuckled once more and said,
As luck would have it, Bill, I believe I have just the thing. Grab onto me hand, Bilbo, and we'll be off.
Bill knew what must be done. Without hesitation, he grabbed the gnome's hand as he had done on that fateful night 6 months ago. As the blue lasers began to envelop Bill once more, he spoke with his weary voice to the gnome one last time. "Thank you," he sobbed. He was once again absorbed into a vortex of swirling blue and white like a cosmic temporal whirlpool. His empty stomach felt as if it were contorting and inverting, and his aching joints felt like creaking, rusted door hinges. He was thrashed around violently, and the flashing colors began to overwhelm him. Bill felt himself slipping away before he heard a loud thud, and it all faded to black. He awoke to find himself in the middle of a vast, vibrant jungle. The sun beamed through the gaps in the leaves, and the tall grass swayed in the wind. The sounds of chittering insects jarred him back to reality. Bill had not seen the sun in some time, so it took him long to adjust to even the small amount of light that pierced the chlorophyll canopy above him. It was beautiful. Raw, untamed nature as far as he could see. He stood up with great difficulty and noticed, in the distance, there's a treetop dwelling of some kind. Bill noticed smoke coming out of the chimney of the treehouse. Bill's stomach was still wholly empty, so he began to hobble his way over to the treehouse in hopes that he could ask the person inside for food. Bill arrived at the foot of the treehouse and began to climb the woven vine ladder up to the platform on which it stood. Once he reached the top, he weakly knocked on the door. A few moments later, and someone opened it. It was a cheetah. "Hello, sir. Would you happen to have any spare food that I could take off of your hands?" Bill asked.
Why, of course. I see you are hurt.
"Please, come inside, my boy. I will aid you," the cheetah said in a deep, gravelly voice. Bill followed the cheetah into his home and took a seat on his pink leather couch. He caught his breath and watched the cheetah prepare him a delicious meal of various berries and fruits. The cheetah walked over to Bill and handed him the fruit salad.
Please, eat.
"You're too kind," Bill said. The cheetah took a seat across from Bill.
You don't seem to be from around here. Where, might I ask, did you come from?
"I'm from Milwaukee," said Bill. "I work in the 3rd largest Frito-Lay plant in America. I was hard at work trying to find a way to revitalize our brand image and make our snack be the top of the charts once again."
Frito-Lay?
"Sorry, but I do not know what that is," the cheetah said while shaking his head. "You've never heard of Frito-Lay?" Bill asked, jolting from his seat. "Why, they're the best snack manufacturer there is! They make the tastiest treats for anyone of any age and any taste. They found a way to combine powdered cheese with a corn mulch base. It's incredible," he said while dancing around the room. "Here," Bill said. "It's best for you to see for yourself." Bill then pulled out a fun-sized bag of Cheetos from his front breast pocket. He always had one ready for an emergency, and handed it over to the cheetah who sat across from him. Bill encouraged the cheetah to open the bag, and so he did, taking out a single Cheeto and placing it into his feline maw. The cheetah chewed it in his mouth for a second. Kind of slipped it around a bit, too. Gargled it also, I think. Before saying, "Goodness me! If this here isn't the greatest corn-based snack I've ever had, then my name isn't Chester A. Hudgens." "Hello, I'm Bill," said Bill. Just then, a big sound was heard, like a big rumbling, and the whole ground went whoa, 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 whoa. And then they heard a big roar like a dinosaur. Oh wow, it's a dinosaur. A big T-Rex with lasers and guns and stuff flew off the roof of Chester's house, and he and Bill were all like, "Whoa!" Bill starts freaking out and going like, "Oh, but dinosaurs are dead!" And then Chester's all like, "Yes, but this is the past, Bill. You need to fight the dinosaur." "But I can't. I'm not strong enough," said Bill. "Yes, you are, Bill. You just have to believe in yourself." Okay, Bill then rockets into the sky and begins punching the robot super techs in the face, and he's all like, "Wah-bam, wah-bam, wah-bam," and he kicks him a little bit, he's like, "Bam, bam, bam," and he gets a rocket launcher, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And then he shoots him, he goes like, boom, and there's fire and blood and guts everywhere, and it's terrible, and everyone's dying. But the T-Rex he lived, and then he shoots Bill with a gun that could shoot bullets at the speed of light and kill anything and never misses. Bill dodges the bullets, and then he grabs one out of the mirror and throws out the dinosaur, but the T-Rex dodges it, and the bullet instead hits a bus full of kids, and they all die. Bill is unfazed. Immediately kicks the robot laser Nazi T-Rex in the shins and start making fun of his stupid arms, and he kicks him in the legs again. And then Donkey Kong hits the dinosaur too because he's also there. Then the T-Rex gets super mad, he transforms into Eternal Kilgore Primal reversion form, and then shoots everything with more lasers. And he also has a lightsaber, and he goes like, but then Bill is all like, "Eat corn mulch, you big lizard loser!" And he throws a bomb full of corn mulch at the T-Rex, and it blows up, and it's all like... It destroys everything, but the T-Rex is still okay because he actually likes corn mulch, and he still survived. Bill then dons an armor set made entirely out of Cheetos and Doritos and Fritos, and this means that he's entirely immune to magic damage and does plus 12 defenses and all the stats, and you can't die, and also he has a Cheeto sword that does like 1,000,000 damage, and it goes like... The robot cyborg ninja Nazi T-Rex Killgirl Ultima Makima version then kills Bill by making him die. Then he hits Bill with his leg, and he goes like... And then Bill flies all the way, and he hits the wall, and he goes like... And then Bill falls to the ground, and he's like... Bill tries to stand up, but he can't. He knows he has to stop the dragon from killing the orphans, but all his legs are broken, and he's out of corn-based snacks. Then Bill feels the familiar presence of his lover, Chester A. whatever his last name was. "Goodbye, my sweet Bill. Stopping this big lizard robot Kilgore Prime Edition will take all the strength I have left. Please watch after our son." "Chester, no!" Bill cried, grabbing onto Chester's ankle. "I can't make it in a world without you. You have to stay!" "If only I could, Bill," he said, shedding a single tear. He then put on a pair of black sunglasses, turned to the evil robot Sith Dragon Dinosaur T-Rex Monster Beast, and said, "It's time to get too cool to fool." He then hopped on a skateboard and rocketed off towards the evil menacing the town. He made contact and exploded, enveloping Bill's entire world in a flash of light, and it was like... And then there was silence. Bill awoke in his bed just like any other morning. He saw a note at the foot of his bed that read, "We found you passed out in the hallway, so we drove you back to your home." And it was signed by the guy who had talked at the start of the story, because it's like poetic symmetry. I think his name was Michael, I don't remember. Bill breathed in the air around him, taking in the beauty of the life he was given by his furry lover. He then got out of bed and grabbed some pencils and paper. He began sketching something he was eager to show his co-workers when he arrived back at the Springfield, Ohio Frito-Lay plant. He then got in his car at 9 o'clock sharp, just like always, and drove to work. "Bill!" the workers cheered. "You're okay! Did you work yourself too hard last night?" "You could say that," Bill smiled. "However, it wasn't fruitless. I know how we can beat Planter's peanuts." "Really, Bill?" they all gasped. "Yes, really." He then began drawing the face of a cartoon cheetah with sunglasses on the meeting room whiteboard. Everyone beat Chester Cheetah. And that's where babies come from.